All right, this is the continuation of section 3.1, the homework, starting off with number 11. And probably the easiest way, yeah, could we do this manually? Yeah, but my estimation, the calculator is the best way to go. So, number 11, get the square root, second function of a square key, square root of a negative 16, right arrow, times square root of a negative 100, second function, square key, and it's a negative 100. And just hitting enter, I've got a negative 40, and we see that negative 40 is letter C here. Number 11, letter C, negative 40. Yeah, could I do this? Actually, I can pretty much do this in my head. I don't need a calculator. Let me just go up one here. Distributing 3i times the 5. Well, 5 times 3 is 15 times I is 15i. 3i times a negative. Well, yeah, okay, it gets a little complicated. So we go back to my original. Can I do it? Yeah, but try to make it the easiest for yourself. And not only the easiest, but one that gives you the right answer. All right, so we'll depend on Mr. Calculator here to do this work for us. We could do it, but second function, the period key, no, I want that already. And in fact, let me just clear this off because I'm making a mess of it. 3 second function, the period key, parenthesis, 5 minus 4 second function, the period key. I like that a lot better. And hitting enter. Now, what I've got here, you can see, is 3 decimal places. So let me go to mode here. Normally, I would keep my calculator set to 2 or 3, but for here, I don't have any decimals, so I'm going to set this at 0 places. And I'm going to quit out of this and hit enter again, and then 12 plus 5i. I like that because it looks exactly, number 12, it looks exactly like letter C. All right, you see it right here, 12 plus 15i. Get the calculator, let the calculator do some work. All right, if not, it gets very mad. Same idea with the remaining one of these. We're going to have issues here with these. They work out to be these crazy fractions, so to speak, but the first three, 13, 14, and 15, should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, I could FOIL this, and in foiling, I get my last term would be 18i squared. I squared is a negative 1. So could it be done? It's not the end of the world, but if the calculator is going to do it for you, why not let the calculator do it for you? My I is the second function of the period key, and times 4 plus 6i. Second function, the period key, close my parenthesis, hit enter. 30 plus 6i, I like it. Number 13, you can see it's letter C here. 30 plus 6i, I like it. Clear this off. Number 14, open parenthesis, 6 plus 4i, second function, period key. Open parenthesis, in fact, I should have open parenthesis to start off with. 14, 6 plus 4, second function, the period key, and what do we got? 6 plus 4i times 8 plus 4i. Close your parenthesis, take a peek at it, all looks good. 32 plus 56i, I like it. Letters, this is number 14, letter C. They do like their letter C's, don't they? Whoever they is. Yeah, let's just see what happens here with 15. If I just bring it up just a tad so you can see it there. All right, 15. Open parenthesis, 9 plus 6i, 6 second function, the period key, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, 7 minus 6i. 7 minus 6 second function, period, close parenthesis, hit enter. 99 plus minus 12i, excuse me, 99. What else? Letter C, number 15. There it is, 99 minus 12i. All right, let's see how these work. These, if I was doing this pencil and paper, All right, I'd have to negate this denominator because it has a square root of a negative number. That's what I is. So the procedure is to get rid of that. You'd have to what's called rationalize it. You would rationalize it by multiplying both numerator and denominator by the conjugate of 5 minus 3i, which is 5 plus 3i. It gets a little lengthy. So let me just see here, and if need be, I'll do these pencil and paper. Let's just see how this works out and how we can, whatever answer we get, how we can match it up to one of these 4 answers here. Now remember, my mode here is set to 0 places because I don't want any decimals. You know, when it comes time that your answers could be decimals, you need to go back and change your mode to either 2. I would suggest 3 places. You've got to set it 0. It's going to cause problems. It's not bad here because all these answers, none of them contain decimals, so I was safe with 0 places. Whatever. All that being said, number 16, my numerator. All right, doesn't show parentheses here, but putting in the calculator this fraction, I got to use parentheses for the numerator and the denominator. If you don't do that, you're in trouble. X plus second function, the square root of 7. Come out of that, I, second function, the period key. And this is divided by open parenthesis, and your denominator is 5 minus 3i, 5 minus 3. Second function, the period key. All right, let's take a look at it. It looks good. You know, made sure that the I was not under the radical. I hit the right arrow key. I hit enter to move over, so that looks good. Let's see what. All right, so what do we got here? A plus 5 minus 3i. All right, so with 0 decimal places, we don't really, this is kind of crazy. So let me go back to mode here. And I want to set this now at 3 places. I want to quit out of this. All right, so what you can see here, it's more, well, what happened with 0 places, it took this decimal and made it into the whole number 1 because this rounded to the nearest whole number was 1. It took 1.095, rounded it to the nearest whole number, it made it 1. Now, here's the question. Which one of these answers is this? And that's the problem that you encounter here. All right. In other words, what would have to happen here, first of all, you see it's a plus sign. So I'm thinking, you know, either A or B or C. You would have to take each one of these fractions, all right? The 40 plus 3 radical 7 over 34. 40 minus 3 radical 7 over. What I'm saying is this. You'd have to take, for instance, number 16. Well, we know the answer is letter D, but why is it letter D? Look at this first part here. All right, so in parenthesis, what do you got here? You got 40 minus 3 second function, the square root of 7. Delete that. 40. Let me just clear this all off. In parenthesis, 40 minus 3 second function, square root of 7. Let me close that parenthesis. And the denominator number, letter D, is 34. So divided by 34. Hit enter. Now, do you see we come up with 0.943? Now, if we go up the top here, do you see here? This is part of your answer, the first part of it. So you see how this guy matches up. But the only problem you encounter here is that there's 3 of them that have the exact same 40 minus, 40 minus 3 to the radical 7. So you know it's not letter A, and then you'd have to figure out the back part of this. All right. We had 1.095, so we know the letter answer is D, but why was it D? Well, I can show you here in parenthesis. 24 plus 5 Second function, the square root of 7. The square root of 7. And I'm going to go to my right, close this up, and divide this by 34. And I know there's an I term there. I get that, but I'm just trying to match up this fraction to the decimal I got when I used my calculator. Divided by 34. And you can see it comes up to be 0.195, 1.095. So all that being said, yeah, the calculator will do it for you, but now you got to take all the answers, and even if I did this, even if I did something like this, if I went to math and I went to fraction, it'll give me as a fraction, but now I still need to determine which one of these answers looks like that. So all that being said, I'll do 16 and 17 manually, all right? What's different about 18, well, I can get away with a calculator, is if you look at the answers, they're pretty straightforward. Not as much straightforward, but none of the answers, like 16 and 17, contain radicals. So my calculator should be able to handle this, no problem, number 18. So in parentheses, 2 plus I, second function, the period key, number 18, divided by, open parentheses, say, -4 minus 8I. Second function, the period key, close this up, take a look at it, looks fairly good. Hit enter. If I go back to my mode and set it to 0 places, quit out of this, hit enter again, and I get 0 places. It's not going to be good. That's not going to be good. Let me go back to my 3 places that I had. All right. Now, I don't see decimals here. All right. So watch what I can do here. I can go to my math key. My very first option is fraction. Hit enter and hit enter again. Aha. It takes it as a decimal and it changes it. Takes negative 0.200, changes it to a negative 1/5. It took 0.150, made it into a fraction, 3/20. Negative 1/5 plus negative 1/5 plus 320. 3/20 of I. This is number 18, and of course it's our favorite. This is letter C right here. So it works for 18 because of the fact 18 had answers that didn't have, these crazy radicals. So 16 and 17 I've got to do manually. So we will do that.